Hi everyone, I've got such an amazing book to show you today. I am incredibly excited to show you. This book is by Hey Hun, It's Nicole on Instagram. She is a tattooist and illustrator, and she's created this book which is basically cover to cover my childhood. So I'm just over the moon excited about it, and I've already coloured loads of it in because I just couldn't leave it alone. So just to explain, the title is Artgos. And over here in the UK, we used to have, or we do still have a shop called Argos, where you can go and buy pretty much anything. Toys, electronics, games, just anything you can think of, homeware, all sorts. And back in the 90s, Argos used to deliver a big thick catalogue of everything that they had that you could buy. And as kids, we used to go through it, we used to circle items, fold the pages down, show our parents what we wanted for our birthdays and Christmas. And the Argos catalogue was just like a thing of dreams. It was packed full of everything any child would want. So this is a play on words of that. This is Artgos. And just to be really crystal clear before we begin, this is an unofficial colouring book. It's not affiliated with the brand Argos or any of the brands or items inside. This is purely a fan-made piece and I absolutely love it. So this is the 90s and noughties edition. I was born in 88, so my childhood was the 90s and the early 2000s, which is exactly what's replicated here. And everything in this book, either I had it, I wanted it, or my friends had it, but it's such a nostalgic trip back to childhood. So if you are my age or thereabouts, or even if you had kids that were growing up in this period, you'll know all these different things and it will bring a lot of memories back. So this is the cover. So yeah, it's just a normal card cover, glossy card. And it says, grab a pen and transport yourself right back to the living room floors of the 90s and noughties with this nostalgic colouring catalogue. From your childhood wish list to iconic teen must-haves, this book is bursting with over 60 memorable items across 13 full pages to explore and colour. And then it's talking about using alcohol markers, which we know. And it's also got 160 GSM pages. So even though this looks like quite a thin book and it's not got too much about it, it's really good quality marker card that's been used. It's really thick. I didn't have any problems with bleeding through unless, you know, I really put a lot of layers down. And then even then I had a sheet of card behind it, but barely anything was picked up. So really good quality paper for markers. And I think that's what you'll want to use with this. Of course, you can use anything really, but it is fairly smooth, the cardstock, just so you know. So the first page is just for you to test your colours. So on this, you can practice, you can see what your colours will look like on this particular paper and, you know, give blends a go and things like that. So I think I mentioned that I've already coloured quite a bit of this book in because I couldn't leave it alone. So this is the first page and wow, just as soon as I opened it, I was like, oh my God, I had one of those, or I really wanted one of those, you know? And I didn't, by any means at all, have everything I wanted as a child, not by far, but I did have quite a lot of this stuff. So it really brought back loads of memories. So in the Argos catalogue, this is how things would look. You would have different squares and shapes with the items inside. They would be numbered, and then you would go across to the key to read about it and see how much it cost. So the first thing was a lava lamp. And these colours are the exact colours of the lava lamp I had when I was a kid. So I really wanted to personalise it. Same with the inflatable chair. I had a purple inflatable chair. Purple has always been my favourite colour. So pretty much everything in my room was purple at one stage. What else do we have? We've got the disco ball. I also had one of these. We have the sea monkeys, which I don't think I ever did have, but I know friends had them. Then we've got this Disney princess television, which I didn't have. I've never really been much into Disney when I was a kid. I absolutely loved the film Aladdin, but that was kind of it really. I don't know why I didn't get more into it. And then we've got the CD player, of course, we all had one of those, and the Groovy Chick bedding. So I can't remember if I actually had the Groovy Chick bedding or whether, I know a friend of mine had it, but I don't think it was something I had personally. My sister might have done, I can't remember. But I've done my best to colour these in, you know, either the exact colours that they were when I had them or the colours that are realistic to the theme. So these are all the Groovy Chick colours. I did use alcohol markers, as I mentioned. So you will see on the back the shadowing from the alcohol markers. Now, this didn't come through onto my card, my protective card underneath. There might have been certain areas like where I've really used a lot of ink that came through to the card, but it was very, very slight. So again, really good thick paper quality, nice and smooth, and it can take lots of layers. So the next page, let me just straighten you up. Again, just this is me. This is me. I mean, I don't think I had this. I don't think I had this. What are these called? Hit clips. But what I've done is I've tried to do some album artwork of the albums that I used to listen to. So here are 3 Westlife albums. The first one, the second one, and the third one. And I mean, there's not a lot you can do with alcohol markers on a tiny area like this to try and create 5 guys standing on an album cover. But I just did it as best as I could. So yeah, obviously The Sims, we all played The Sims. We were all obsessed with The Sims for about 6 weeks straight and then didn't touch it again for about 2 years. Then we got re-obsessed, we got back into it. We're building houses, we're making our own house, our own family, whatever. I had this phone, the Motorola Razr. That was when I was a little bit older. I think I was probably 17 when I had this phone. PlayStation 1 was my life when I was a child. Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, it was everything to me, the PlayStation 1. So that's just brilliant. It's perfect. I did also have an iPod. I did have one, but I was a bit older because I never used to get things when they were first out. You know, it used to be a couple of years later when we could afford it and stuff. I think I got one of these when I was maybe 16, 17 with my pocket money. I probably saved up for it. But I have put the Blink 182 album cover or something like it on there because that's what I would have been listening to at the time. And of course, we all had a DS and our DS games. The illustrator, Nicole, has put Nintendogs and Zoo Tycoon on here. I never played Zoo Tycoon. I did play Nintendogs, but mostly it was Sims that I used to play on the DS. And I love how they've got little adverts in the corner as well, just like an original Argos catalogue. So we've got a free ringtone with the little ding ding, what, the crazy frog from the advert. I bet I've got the American people watching this like, what is she talking about? Is this some kind of Twilight Zone? But I'm sure some of this stuff you'll recognise. But yeah, it's great. It's just so much fun, this book. As you can see, I've not been able to stop colouring it. So this is a few of the different sort of bigger toys that we had as well. I definitely had one of these. This was a chocolate machine. It had little chocolate blocks of Dairy Milk, Cadbury's chocolate, and you used to put 2p in. This one says 1p, but in mine you used to put 2p in, so 2 cents, 2 pence, and your chocolate would come out the bottom of the red chimney. And I've tried again to use the Cadbury colours and make it look, you know, like Dairy Milk, like I used to have. Then we've got the golden coin maker. I didn't have one of these, but I think I bought one for my kids when they were young. They were really, really popular as well. Of course, we have an Etch-a-Sketch, which did obviously come long before the 90s. We're talking maybe 60s, 70s, around about that time. We've got a candy floss machine. I didn't have one of those. A Mr. Frosty. And I really had fun actually colouring this one, getting all the frosted bits looking like they were behind the glass. It's just been so much fun to colour. And then we've got a badge maker, which again, I didn't have, but I think I bought one for my kids or something similar to that anyway. Third page, I keep moving the book all over the place, sorry. Third page, we have the really scary things that came out sort of like the turn of the millennium, the Furbies. I never had a Furby. My friend had loads of them and they used to freak me out. They spoke and they stared and they were just horrid. I think this is a Billy Bass. They've called it a singing fish here because obviously some of the names can't be exactly what they were for probably copyright reasons and stuff. But down here it always tells you sort of what they were. The only thing I couldn't figure out with these, and I think these were called micro pets. See, Nicole has told me because I asked her and I can't remember if that's right or not. But she's called them Digipets on here. And I can't remember these at all. So I don't know whether I just missed out on that or it just passed me by. I don't know. Number 21 is Pixel Chicks. Again, not something that I had. I did have a Robo Sapien or something like it, maybe a knockoff version. And of course, the Robo Dog. My sister had one of these when she was growing up. So we used to play it together, and it's just so much fun. It wouldn't be the 90s and the early noughties without the Blockbuster video store. We all used to go here for a DVD. If we were going for a sleepover with our friends, the parents would take us to Blockbuster and we'd be able to pick. I just said DVD then, didn't I? It wasn't a DVD. It was a VHS. And we'd all get to pick a film. I remember when I was about 10, maybe 11, begging my dad to rent out the new Freddy Krueger film. It was called Wes Craven's A New Nightmare. And it's still a brilliant film to this day. I love it. But that just shows you how long, and even previous to that, I've been into horror. I think I watched Child's Play when I was like 4 and it didn't bother me. So yeah, anyways, memories. I remember we rented Bend It Like Beckham when I went on a sleepover. Can you remember that? It's early 2000s film. Yeah, Blockbuster. I wish they were still going, because there's such nostalgia in all of that, in going to Blockbuster, getting your popcorn, your sweets and your film to watch. Love it. We've even got a coupon at the bottom. I wonder if that's valid. So this, I've only coloured one on this, and that's the Sky Dancer, and I've not even done the background yet. Now the Sky Dancer was a little bit past my age range, but my sister had one. She had it for Christmas one year. I think I might even have a little clip of her. My dad's trying to sort the Sky Dancer out so she can play with it. And yeah, so this is something that I definitely had a go on. They were quite vicious though, these things. You pulled them and then they would just spring into the air and they would go God knows where and hit someone on the head. So quite dangerous for a child, but it was the 90s, like there was none of this health and safety stuff. What else do we have then? So Animal Vets, Playmoboat, obviously Playmobil, and then Sylvia's Fam, this is called. So Sylvanian families. We all remember those, the little velvet bunnies. I never had any of them. I think they were too expensive. So the next one is games. We've got Buckaroo. This one, I can't remember what it was called. Croc something. I don't know, I can't remember. Anyway, you had to take his teeth out without him closing his mouth. Operation, of course, which is another older one. It came from previous decades, but it was still around, or it came back in the 90s. Donutters, and this one is Elephant, I think. I think my little brother had one of these. And I definitely had Operation from a charity shop at one point. Definitely had Buckaroo. Again, it probably was secondhand. So these are all dolls and what's the word I'm thinking of? Figurines, you know, teddies and stuff like that. So this one, she's got like crimped hair, and I think she had like weird limbs that you could twist, and you could twist her all around, sort of her arms around her legs and everything. Never had one of those though. Cabbage Patch Doll, never had one of those. My Horse, oh yeah, this is My Little Pony. I remember my friends having these and drawing on them with markers and stuff like that, and the hair was all everywhere. Didn't look after them. Bratz doll, my sister was absolutely obsessed with Bratz until she was quite old actually. She was like 13, 14 when she stopped playing with her Bratz. She'll hate me for this. Then we've got a Stretch Armstrong, a Care Bear, which was my wallpaper when I was little, because my people used to call me Claire Bear, like a little nickname, Claire Bear. And then we've got the doll, I think this was baby Annabelle, right? So she could probably talk or cry and wee. So that was great. Next up, here we are, favourite page. So games, PlayStation 1 games, to be exact. Spyro was my absolute favourite, all-time favourite. It's not even that long ago since I played Spyro again. Love it. Crash Bandicoot's not on here, a little bit upset about that. Nicole. Theme Hospital, something I recognise but never played. GTA, never played it. I think it was more for the lads. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, I think I had this because my PlayStation was chipped, so we always had like fake games. It's a good job some time has passed, otherwise I'd be in trouble, wouldn't I? But yeah, we had copied games, and I think this was one of them. Tomb Raider I found really, really difficult. I couldn't even get past her house. You know, like the first bit when you play Tomb Raider, she's at her big mansion, and I remember locking the butler in the fridge, but that was about it. I don't know if it was the controls were just rubbish or what, but I couldn't get her to climb and jump and all that, so gave up on that one. Sims 2 Aliens, played that for hours upon hours. Just absolutely loved it. And the Sims 2 Castaway as well, that was another favourite of mine. And obviously, like I say, Crash Bandicoot. So we've got them all down here, and we've got a little 2 games for 20 coupon. So again, it's not just the 90s, this book. It's mainly that, but you will obviously see things that have come before, and like the space hopper, very 70s. We've got this sand pit that you would have in the back garden shaped like a turtle, and you might also have the pool that I think was shaped like a dolphin or something, I can't remember. Pogo stick, blow up paddling pool, which was useless and would usually deflate very quickly. A fake lawnmower with the little bits and bobs that when you pushed it forward, the air would sort of make them go everywhere, so it looked like bits of grass. And then the cozy coupe, which my brother had one of when he was little, I think. Again, just a little bit later than my time. And then the Heelys, so these trainers with little wheels inside that I couldn't be trusted to have because I've got no balance. I still can't ride a bike. I can't swim. I can't balance myself in any type of situation. So these would not have been good for me. Something else that's missing from this book is moon boots. Did anybody get those in the mid-90s? It was like a big plastic clod-hopping boot that you would strap your foot into, and it was on elastic bands. So when you walked, your foot would be like this, like you're on the moon. I think I fell over and scraped up my face when I was wearing them once. But again, health and safety out the window. Now here's some perfumes and sprays that were really popular in the 90s and the noughties. So we've got Charlie Red, we've got the So, Impulse Glamour. These are still available. My sister was telling me today that you can still get these. What's this one? 53. Doll perfume. I can't remember this. This looks like a Britney Spears one, right? Yeah, it's Britney. I think this is called Fantasy, and it's still people's favourite perfume. And she's got quite a few in the selection. I don't think I've ever smelt it, actually. This one, 55, Fancy Perfume. Could this be Dior or something? I don't know. Princess. I feel like I know what these perfumes are, but I never had expensive perfumes when I was a teenager, so I can't really... This one says Perfume for Alien, so this must be Alien, right? Again, I've smelt that before, but I don't like it. It's one of them funny smells that a lot of people love, and I just don't get it. So now we've got jewellery and watches. So we've got the owl necklace, which sort of jigged around. It was on different pieces. And then we have the best friends necklace. So you'd wear one half, your friend would wear the other. Then this is the bear necklace. So I think these were called Me to You bears, tatty bears, and they were really popular. Again, I never had one of those. I did definitely have one of these, probably out of a machine where you put £1 in at the supermarket, you know, near the doors where they could entice kids. You'd put £1 in, you'd get something in a little plastic pot, you open it, you get a crappy necklace like this. So I definitely had a yin-yang necklace anyways. These are those stretchy rubber bands that a lot of people were wearing in the noughties. Had a few of those, I think. And then the watches. So we've got the Hello Kitty watch, the Simpsons, and then this ring pop. So if you can't remember them, they used to be a plastic ring that you could put on your finger, and it had this giant diamond candy that you would just sit there and lick. Oh, why can't we go back? And then here's some different coupons that you would have found as well in the back of the Argos catalogue. So 10% off all shoe measures in store. Dream Map Moose, who remembers that? Sunny D, there was a rumour going around that Sunny D would send your skin yellow if you drank too much of it. Tammy Girl was a shop that, again, I did go in a couple of times, but too expensive. Wimpy Burger, I never even heard of this until I was in my late teens, early 20s, because I didn't really go out that much. We didn't go shopping to the mall or anything like that. We'd just play in our rooms and play on the street. So things like this I never heard of till later on. We, of course, got Panda Pops. These are little bottles of pop that you would usually get from the pub when your parents dragged you along. You sat there bored, you get a bag of crisps and a Panda Pop. Your name on a chocolate boot. So this is like Thornton's, the chocolatier. You could write your name or a message on a chocolate item. Jane Norman was another one where I never went because it was too expensive. But when you were bringing your PE kit into school, if you had a Jane Norman bag with your PE kit in, that was like the height of popularity. I always had like a Netto bag that I turned inside out so people couldn't see the little black dog. Yeah. And then we've got Henry Hoover, classic, and Nostalgia R Us, of course, Toys R Us, the giraffe, the magical advert that we used to see just before Christmas, that it was never Christmas without the Toys R Us advert and the Coca-Cola advert. And that's it. So, oh, I hope that you can feel how much I love this book through the screen. I think it's fantastic. Everything in it is just like a shot back to my childhood. And yeah, I think it's brilliant. So at the moment, it is out of stock, but not for long. It is back in stock, estimated on the 12th of February. So we've only got, what are we today, like the 8th? We've only got a few more days until hopefully it's back in stock. But what I'm going to do is I'll put the link in the description of Nicole's website where you can order it, and also her Etsy. So you can keep checking those around about the 12th, and fingers crossed it'll be good. I think also you can pre-order, can you? Let me just read the website. The next drop of pre-orders. Yes, you can. You can pre-order it. So I'm just looking on the website here. And you can buy it. You can add it to your cart. So you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait. You can pre-order it now. And estimated time of arrival, 12th of February. So there we go. I love it. I love it. So it's premium quality paper. The paper's brilliant. You know, you'd think for a little book like this with 13 pages, you wouldn't be expecting much. It looks a bit like a kid's colouring book. But when you look inside and you get taken right back to your youth, and, you know, again with the paper, really, really thick, really nice for alcohol markers. It's fantastic. So let me know what you think. I'm really excited to know what you think for this one, because I absolutely love it. Was it your childhood? Was this your time? Or was it your kids' time? Or I don't know. Just let me know what you think. Again, links will be in the description. Go and pre-order yours now if you want one. And yeah, thank you for watching. I will see you soon on Colour with Claire.